Alright, some awesome news dropped recently. Hans Zimmer is back to score a DC film after he said that he was done for superhero films. After he said in the past that he wants to move on, he's back to do another DC film. Everybody's been celebrating. Everyone's been really happy about this. This is awesome news. Hans Zimmer is probably one of the greatest composers of all time. And I think my favorite composition that he's done is for Man of Steel or BVS. It's kind of a toss-up. And of course, the Dark Knight trilogy is also up there. And Inception. You know, he's done amazing, amazing soundtracks. And a couple not-so-good ones. I mean, he did the amazing Spider-Man 2. You know, he's the one that did that Electro theme. So, yeah, I mean, he's not perfect, but he's going to do fine on Wonder Woman. I'm surprised they're not keeping the composer that did the first Wonder Woman movie. Maybe he's busy, but I thought he did a great job with that score, you know, taking what Hans Zimmer did with the Wonder Woman theme and stretching it out through a whole movie, you know, breaking it up into different pieces and stuff. I think that composer is really talented. I forget his name, but he should definitely be on a future DC film. I don't know what film he's going to do next, but he is definitely a talented composer. And Hans Zimmer doing Wonder Woman 2, you know he's doing this because he wants to. You know, it's not like the studio was like, you know, here's a shit ton of money to do Wonder Woman. Hans Zimmer is past the point where he needs money, you know? So he definitely signed on to Wonder Woman because he wants to work with the director, and it's a project he wants to be a part of, and that's a great sign. And hopefully we'll get more of a continuation of Wonder Woman's theme in this movie. Maybe they expand on it a little bit more. And we'll get a good Cheetah theme. You know, my main concern with this Wonder Woman movie, when it came to the music, was that I thought they were going to go the Guardians of the Galaxy route and do like the 80s music for nostalgia reasons, to make you all nostalgic while listening to the soundtrack, and completely not pay attention to the movie at all, you know. That was my big worry about this film. But it seems like, you know, with Hans Zimmer joining the film, it seems like we're going to get an actual composition, a full score. He's going to have themes for the main characters. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see what he comes up with. So, you know, great news that he's back. But when you think about it, he's back now. I wonder why he left in the first place. You know, it wasn't because he wanted to get out of making superhero themes, you know? That wasn't the reason. That was just some bullshit reason he came up with. He left because he knew that Warner Brothers was going to fuck with Zack Snyder's movie again, you know? He saw them do it on Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman, and Hans Zimmer didn't want to be a part of that anymore. And with Hans Zimmer coming back now, it makes me think that maybe Hans Zimmer knows something we don't know. Maybe Warner Brothers has turned the corner and they are making better changes. They're letting the directors make their movies, and maybe that is why Hans Zimmer wants to come back. Because, you know, if I'm Hans Zimmer and I leave Warner Brothers because of the shit that went down on Batman vs. Superman and Justice League, right? If I leave because of that, then, you know, there has to be a lot of change for me to come back. And that's the best case scenario right now. Hans Zimmer is back because the studio has made changes. You know, new executives are in charge and stuff like that. New people for Hans Zimmer to work with. And maybe that's why he's back. That's what I'm thinking. You know, that's probably the best case scenario. Because I don't think he just came back because he wants to do a Wonder Woman movie, you know. I think he came back because the circumstances are different now. And it's probably a good sign all around. Because we all know why he left after BVS. You know, we all know why. He was probably disgusted with the studio for cutting out over a half hour out of BVS. And he knew they were going to fucking destroy Justice League. So he just got out of there before the shit went down, right? But you know, now that there's different people in charge of Warner Brothers, DC film division, there's been some changes. Now's a good time for Hans Zimmer to come back. But anyway, what do you guys think? I assume everyone's pretty happy about Hans Zimmer coming back to compose Wonder Woman. But what do you think it says about WB? Does it mean that WB has changed a little bit? I'm thinking it does. Because why else would Hans Zimmer want to come back? But anyway, some other updates. Trying to get that podcast on Man of Steel and other podcasts going here. It's tough to find the time to do the podcast with Proctarius because he lives in the UK and I live in the US. So we're in like two different time zones entirely. every time he's free to record, I'm doing something, and every time I'm free to record, he's doing something. So, we'll figure it out. It'll happen. Just might be delayed for a little bit. But, that's it for now. Comment below. Let me know what you think about the Hans Zimmer news, and I'll see you all in the next one.